Welcome to another class, Micro Chapter 3, second unit, Cost and Revenue. This is very important unit for numerical question because you must get one numerical question of 6 or 4 marks from this unit, Cost and Revenue. And lot of formulas are there. The whole chapter is based on lot of formula and numerical. Okay. Now let us start from the cost. Cost means production cost. To produce a good, how much money is spent by the producer, this is cost. Okay, the total expenditure to produce a good is called cost or total cost. Cost having two parts, because earlier unit we learned two types of factor, one is fixed factor, one is variable factor. Now the cost incurred on fixed factors of production is called fixed cost, and the cost incurred on the variable factors of production is called variable cost. Okay, so cost having two parts, one is fixed cost, another is variable cost. So total cost we can write sum of fixed cost and variable cost. This is our first formula of this chapter. Okay, so total cost or cost is the sum of fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost means the cost of fixed factors of production. For example, cost of machine, cost of technology, cost of permanent staff of the company, these all are fixed cost. Okay, fixed cost means it remain fixed, it never be zero, because production may be zero but fixed cost always remain fixed. For this reason, fixed cost curve always parallel to x-axis. This is our fixed cost curve. Here we are measuring quantity of production, here we are measuring cost. Okay, fixed cost always remain fixed, it never be zero. Whatever is the production may be zero, but fixed cost always remain fixed, and some certain amount of fixed cost always continues, because for example during Sunday or if there is any holiday, those who are the permanent staff, the factory has to pay them their salary, they cannot stop. But those are variable factor. Suppose Sunday there is no work, so those who are the casual worker, they will never be paid. So fixed cost never be zero. Whatever is the production may be zero, but it never be zero. Very important concept. Fixed cost never be zero. Okay, production may be zero, but it never be zero. Now come to the variable cost. Variable cost means the cost of variable factors of production. For example, cost of raw material, fuel, transportation, casual workers, their expenditure is come under variable cost. And it what happen? It increases with the increase in the production. This is quantity of production cost. This is the shape of the variable cost. When there is no production, variable cost is zero, but with the rise in the production, variable cost increases continuously. So variable cost may be zero, but fixed cost never be zero. So what we get? Total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Fixed cost never be zero, and so total cost also never be zero. Very important concept. This one is required in numerical. Okay, question also may ask why total cost never be zero, because total cost is the sum of fixed and variable cost, and fixed cost never be zero, for the total cost also never be zero. So this is our fixed cost and total cost, sorry, variable cost. Now from that we can draw the total cost curve. This is our quantity of production, this is our cost. This is our fixed cost curve which remain fixed always. This is our variable cost curve. Okay, now total cost curve will start from the variable cost, because total cost is the sum of fixed and variable, and in the beginning when there is no production, that time fixed cost never be zero, so total cost also never be zero. It is also just like parallel to the variable cost line, because with the rise in the production, variable cost increases and total cost also increases. So total cost curve starts from the fixed cost curve point, but it remain parallel to variable cost curve, because total cost increases with the increase in the variable cost. Total cost doesn't affected by the fixed cost, because fixed cost always remain fixed. So For that, the gap between total cost and variable cost curve always remains same. So this is our total cost, variable cost and fixed cost. So we are having one formula, first formula. This is the first formula of this chapter, of this unit. Total cost is the sum of fixed cost and variable cost. Now come to the different points. Now average cost. In short, SC. Okay, average cost is what? Average cost is the ratio between total cost and quantity of production. Okay, here Q means quantity of production or output. This is average cost. Average cost is the ratio between total cost and quantity of output. So average cost also we are getting from where? From total cost. So since total cost having two part, average cost also having two part. Average cost also having two part. One is average fixed cost, another is average variable cost. This is average fixed cost. Average fixed cost means the ratio between fixed cost and quantity of production. This is average. Average variable cost. Ratio between variable cost and quantity of production. So in any kinds of average in economics, we have to divide it by quantity of whatever is the quantity, production, labor, or whatever it is, we will divide it by the quantity. So average fixed cost, ratio between fixed cost and quantity of output. Average variable cost is the ratio between variable cost and quantity of output. Now what is the shape of these curves? Average cost curve, it is like that. Inverse U shape, U shape. This is average cost curve. Here we are measuring quantity of production, here we are measuring cost. Average cost. This is our average variable cost curve, AVC. Quantity, here we are measuring cost. Don't forget to write the x-axis, y-axis and origin. Third one is average fixed cost, AFC. Quantity, cost, origin. So these are the different shape of the cost curve. Now SC and AVC cost curve is almost same shape. Both are U shape. Difference is what? SC curve is little bit of above from the x-axis because SC curve is the sum of these two. So SC is more than AVC. Clear? Because average cost is the sum of average fixed cost plus average variable cost. From this we are getting it. Now if SC is the sum of these two, then what happens? SC must be more than average variable cost. So SC curve is above the average variable cost curve. Average variable cost curve gap is less, here the gap will be more. So this is the difference only these two. But both are U shape. Now come average fixed cost curve. Average fixed cost curve is negatively or downward sloping. Why downward sloping? Because fixed cost always remain fixed. So when production increases, average fixed cost decreases continuously. For example, suppose this is quantity of production, this is fixed cost. 1, 2, 3, 4. We learned what? Fixed cost always remain fixed. Suppose whatever is the production fixed cost is, suppose here 60 everywhere. Fixed cost is 60. Now find average fixed cost. Average fixed cost formula is fixed cost by quantity of production. 60 divided by 160, 60 by 230, 60 by 320, 60 by 415. Now what happened? Average fixed cost continuously decreasing. So when we draw the figure in a graph paper, we will get this type of downward sloping curve. So for that reason, AFC is downward sloping. Okay, question is asked why AFC curve is downward sloping. That time along with the schedule we have to draw the figure and we have to explain why it is downward sloping. Okay, so this is our average cost, average fixed cost and average variable cost. But these two curve is U shape. Why U shape? We are coming later. Now marginal cost. MC. Same way, earlier unit also we get marginal product, now marginal cost. Marginal cost is what? Marginal cost is the rate of change in the variable cost due to increase in the production by an extra unit. Marginal always rate of change. Rate of change of variable cost due to change in the production by an extra unit. Means what? Means if we want to increase the production by an extra unit, how much extra expenditure is required? This is marginal cost. So marginal cost is the change of variable cost, or we can write delta variable cost by delta quantity of production. This is marginal cost. So marginal cost is the ratio between change in the variable cost due to change in the production. This is marginal cost. Sorry, it is MC. This is our marginal cost. So we are getting another formula here. Marginal cost is the variable cost n minus variable cost n minus 1. Okay, and this is the shape of marginal cost curve. It is also U shape, MC. Okay, now how these four are related? Total, average cost, variable cost, marginal cost. This is our marginal cost curve. This is our average cost curve. This is our average variable cost curve. Okay, now how they are related? Means marginal cost curve passing through the minimum point of average variable cost curve and average cost curve. So this is our marginal cost related with average cost and average variable cost. Means marginal cost curve passes through the minimum point of AC and ABC curve. So this way they are related. Now all the costs are interrelated. Suppose marginal cost, average cost, average variable cost, these all are interrelated. How interrelated? Let us start. Now relation between this cost. First one, suppose average cost, average variable cost. How they are related? For that you have to draw right schedule also and figure also. This is our average cost curve. This is our average variable cost curve. Here we are measuring cost, quantity of production. This is our minimum point of this two curve. Okay, how they are related? Both average cost and average variable cost are related with average cost. Means average variable cost we can calculate from average cost. How? From this one. Average variable cost is the difference between average cost and average fixed cost. Thus these two are related. ABC we can calculate from average cost. Okay, now in the beginning what happened? In the beginning gap between these two is more, but when production increases the gap reduces. In the starting gap is more, in the ending gap is less, but they never intersect or touch each other. Means AC and ABC never be equal. If they equal, then they will intersect. Why they are not equal? Because we learned fixed cost never be zero, and so average fixed cost also never be zero. We learned what? Average cost is the sum of average fixed cost and average variable cost. If this one never be zero, that is average fixed cost never be zero, that time how AC be equal to ABC. So AC and ABC also never be zero. So these two curves never intersect or touch. It may be very much closer. In the beginning what happened? In the beginning AFC is more. We learnt earlier AFC decreases continuously with the rise in the production. Now AC is the sum of these two. If this one continuously decreases, then what happens? AC becomes closer to ABC. If AFC decreases continuously, AC is the sum of these two, that time what happens? ABC comes closer to AC. But they will never intersect because AC and ABC never be equal, so these two never be intersect. So this is the relation between AC and ABC. Question is asked, why ABC comes closer to AC with the rise in the production, and why AC never intersect ABC? So reason is what? Reason is since AC never be equal to ABC, these two curves never intersect or touch. Now second one is average cost and marginal cost. average and marginal. Figure is like that. This is our marginal cost curve. This is our average cost curve. Sorry. This is our average cost curve. Marginal cost, average cost. Okay. How they are related? Both we are calculating from the total cost. Marginal cost formula is TCN minus TCN minus 1. Marginal we can calculate from TC also. Average cost is the ratio between TC and quantity of output. This is the basic relation. Both SC and MC is calculated from total cost. Okay. Now, in the beginning, when average cost decreases, when SC decreases, then what happens? When SC decreases, marginal cost is less than average cost. See, marginal cost curve lies below the average cost curve. So when SC decreases, MC lies below SC. When SC is constant or minimum, at that point, at point A, SC is minimum. That time what happen? Marginal cost and average cost both are equal, because at that point both the curve intersect. So below both the curve is equal here. So MC is equal to SC. Third one, when average cost rises, when SC rises, then MC becomes more than SC, because MC curve lies higher here. So MC greater than SC. So this is the relation between marginal cost and average cost. Next relation is average cost and average fixed cost. This is the shape of the curve. This is our average cost curve, and average fixed cost is downward sloping. Okay. So average fixed cost is calculated from average cost, from this one. Average fixed cost is the difference between average cost and average variable cost. So average fixed cost is nothing but a part of average cost. Okay. Second one, when production increases continuously, then in the beginning gap is less, but when production increases, gap between SC and AFC increases. Because of why? After a certain period of production, average cost rises. Average cost first decreases, then rises, but average fixed cost decreases continuously. So what happens? The gap between these two increases. But in the beginning, the gap is less, because in the beginning, average cost and average fixed cost is almost closer, but not equal, because variable cost is also there. So variable cost is less that time, so the gap is less, but after a certain level of production, gap increases. Now, why SC curve is U-shape? Average cost curve is U-shape. Why for? Average cost curve is U-shape due to the law of variable proportion. We learned in the first unit. Due to this law of variable proportion, our average cost curve is U-shape. Why for? Now, average cost we are calculated from where? We are calculated from total cost. Average cost, ratio between total cost and quantity of production. This is our average cost. Okay. This is the shape of total cost, total product curve. Sorry. Average cost we are getting from total cost TC by quantity. Total cost we are getting from where? Total cost we are getting from total production. This is the shape of our total production curve. Total production is inverse U shape. This is the maximum point of total production curve. Okay. Now, when we increases labor in the beginning continuously, what happen? Law of variable proportion indicates what? In the beginning, when we increase our labor, our total product first increases at a faster rate, then after slower rate, then after decreases. So when in the beginning of the production, we are increasing our labor, by using less labor, we are getting more production. Clear? By using less input, we are getting more output. Means what? Per unit production cost decreases. Here average cost decreases in the beginning. So in the beginning, average cost decreases. Okay. At this point, what happened? Total product is maximum. Means what? By using less labor, we are getting maximum product. So average product become minimum. After that level, the law of diminishing returns operate. Diminishing return means whatever input we are getting in using, output we are getting compared to this less. Okay. In the second and third stage of the law of variable proportion, compared to the input we are getting less output. So what happened? Our per unit production cost, that is average cost, is increases. So what happened after this point? Average cost increases. So what we see? Average cost first decreases, then after the saturation point it increases continuously. So for that reason our average cost curve is U-shape. Main reason is the law of variable proportion, because in the beginning increasing returns to scale operate, then after diminishing and negative returns to scale operate. For that we are getting U-shape of average cost curve. Now next part of the unit, this is revenue. Revenue means income of the producer. Income of the producer in the spend. Revenue we can say selling price. Selling price is nothing but a revenue. By selling a product, how much money is received by the producer, this is our revenue. This is not profit. Don't mix up revenue and profit. Revenue means by selling a good, how much he receive, this is our revenue. Okay, profit is different thing, we are coming later. So selling price is nothing but revenue. So total revenue, TR. Total revenue is what? By selling all the product, how much money is received by the producer, this is total revenue. Okay, by selling all the product of a good, all the product of a producer, how much he receive in return, this is our total revenue. So total revenue we can write price into quantity. Price P means price per unit of the product, and here Q is quantity sold. In the earlier unit, first unit quantity, Q means quantity of labor, then after we get quantity of production, now Q means quantity sold. So whenever you write Q, you must mention what the Q indicates. Okay, so P into Q means price per unit, and quantity we get total revenue. Okay, second one is average revenue. AR. Average revenue is what? Total revenue divided by quantity sold. Means ratio between total revenue and quantity sold is the average revenue. Okay, in other words, average revenue is nothing but price per unit. Average revenue and price is same thing. Okay, how it is? Total revenue we get what? Price into quantity. Average revenue we get what? Total revenue divided by quantity. Now total revenue we have price into quantity divided by quantity. Q cancel, what left? Price. So average revenue is nothing but price of the product is the average revenue. Now third one is marginal revenue. MR. All marginal in the same concept. Marginal means change. Rate of change in the total revenue due to rate of the change in the quantity sold is the marginal. So marginal is nothing but change in the total revenue. Okay, if we increase our sale by 1 unit, how much extra revenue we are getting, this is our marginal revenue. Suppose total revenue, quantity sold. Okay, suppose by selling 100 unit a producer get, or suppose by selling 10 unit a producer get 100 rupees revenue. If he sell 11 unit, suppose he is getting revenue of 120 rupees. Means what? By selling one extra unit of commodity, he is getting extra how much? 20 rupees he is getting extra. This 20 rupees is marginal revenue. So if we increase the sale by 1 unit, how much extra revenue the producer is receiving? This is marginal revenue. That is rate of change in the total revenue. Or we can write it like that way also, delta TR by delta quantity sold. This is marginal revenue. Now relation between total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. Relation between total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. Okay, for that also we have to draw the figure. Here is quantity sold. here is revenue. This is the shape of our total revenue curve in general. Total revenue. This is the maximum position. This is the shape of average revenue, and marginal revenue passes through the maximum point. This is the shape of marginal revenue. Okay. Schedule also we can write from that. Quantity sold, total revenue, average revenue, and marginal revenue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also, based on the marginal revenue, we can write the schedule. Generally, schedule starts from total revenue, we get this one and this one. But for simplest, or to make it easy, we always start from marginal, because marginal we can easily write. Marginal, see what? Marginal decreases continuously to 0, then negative. Continuously decreases to 0, then negative. So write like that way: 10, 7, 0, minus 2. Okay, decreases continuously. Total formula is what? Sum of the marginal revenue. First one is 10, 17 plus 0, 17 minus 2, 15. Total revenue. Now see, total first increases, then decreases. First increases, then decreases. Margin average is what? Ratio between total and quantity sold. 10 by 1, 10, 17 by 2, 8.5, 17 by 3, 5.6, 14 by 15 by 4, 3.75. So average revenue also first increases, then decreases. Average revenue also continuously decreases. See, decreases continuously. Now how they are related? Average revenue and marginal revenue calculated from where? From total revenue. First relation is AR and MR is calculated from total revenue. So two formula we have earlier: AR is equal to TR by quantity, MR is equal to change in the TR. First relation. Second relation, when TR increases continuously, average revenue, marginal revenue both decreases. See here, TR rises, average also decreasing, marginal also decreasing. When TR is maximum, at that point total revenue maximum, marginal is what? 0. At that point marginal is 0, because this is a 0 line. Maximum, marginal is 0. AR continuously decreasing, marginal become 0. Fourth one, when TR decreases, MR becomes what? MR becomes negative, but AR also decreases, but AR never be negative. AR always remain positive, because average never be negative. So average revenue remains positive, marginal revenue decreases and it becomes negative after when TR decreases continuously. So this is the relation between total revenue and average revenue. Now we get cost and revenue. Cost means production cost, revenue means by selling the product, how much money he is receiving. Now where producer get the profit means producer's equilibrium. Producer's equilibrium means where producer will maximum production, means where he will produce, at what level he will produce, because when he produce he requires some cost also, and he gets some revenue also, but some ultimate point must be there where he get maximum satisfaction. The satisfaction level is the producer's equilibrium. In consumer equilibrium chapter also we get where consumer get maximum satisfaction, he reach in the equilibrium. In producer also, where producer get maximum satisfaction, he reach in equilibrium. Now producer satisfaction is nothing but profit. Where he get maximum profit, he will reach in equilibrium. So producer equilibrium indicate that level of production where producer can earn maximum profit. Okay. Now to determine the maximum profit level, there are two processes. First one is total revenue, total cost approach. Second one is marginal revenue and marginal cost approach. These are the two methods through which we can determine producer's equilibrium. Okay. Now, first one is total revenue, total cost approach, TRTC approach. Okay. Now, in TRTC approach, what happened? In TRTC approach, the producer reach in equilibrium at that level where he can maximize his profit, because producer's main target is to earn profit. So here he can maximize his profit. This is the producer's equilibrium level. Okay, we can draw it in the figure also. Quantity, here we are measuring cost and revenue. Okay, this is our total revenue curve. Just earlier we learned it. Total revenue U shape, inverse U shape, and this is our total cost curve, TC curve. Okay, so total cost, total revenue. Now, where is the maximum profit? Profit formula is what? Profit formula is the difference between total revenue and total cost, means selling price minus cost price is the profit. We learned earlier classes also. Same thing here, the difference between total revenue and total cost is the profit. Now, where is profit in the figure? In the figure, this is the profit area. These all are the profit area. Here, total revenue is more, total cost is less. So, this is our profit area, and this area is loss, because here cost is more, revenue is less, and this area also loss, because cost is more, revenue is less. So, this is our profit area. Now, where the producer will produce maximum point, this is the maximum profit level of the producer. Here the gap between these two curves is maximum, vertical gap between TR and TC is maximum. So, this is the maximum profit position of the producer. So, he will produce at that level and reach in equilibrium. Why at that level? Because now see, if he increase the production, profit reduces. If he reduce the production, then also profit reduces. So, he will produce at that level where the gap between TR and TC curve is maximum, that is profit is maximum. So, this is the producer's equilibrium according to TRTC approach. We can draw the profit line also. Profit starts from this point and profit ends at this point. Okay. Now, this is the shape of our profit line. This is profit line. Okay. See, here is the positive profit, here it is loss, here also it is loss. Negative profit means what? Loss. Below the x-axis all are negative. And this is the profit line, maximum profit is here. Here the gap between these two is the gap between these two, same. These two gap are equal. So, this is our profit curve and this is the TRTC approach. In this approach, the condition is what? Condition where the gap between TR and TC is maximum, producer can earn maximum profit at that level. And that level is the producer's equilibrium point. This is our TRTC approach. Now, MRMC approach. According to MRMC approach, producer reach in equilibrium when he can satisfy the following two conditions. First condition is what? First condition, at the level of equilibrium, marginal revenue and marginal cost must be equal. This is our necessary condition. This one is called necessary condition. MR and MC must be equal. And second condition is, after the equilibrium level, MC must be rising, or we can say MC must be more than MR. This is the sufficient condition. First one is necessary, second one is sufficient condition. So, first condition is MR must be equal to MC. Second condition is MC must be rising after the equilibrium point. Okay. So, if we draw, this is our MR curve. MR curve generally downward sloping, negative. We are not showing the negative part here. And this is our marginal cost curve. Here we are measuring MR and MC. Here we are measuring quantity of production. Okay. Now see, MR MC curve intersect in the 2 point. Here also these two intersect, here also these two intersect. But equilibrium lies on that point, because in that point both the conditions are satisfied. Here see, MR is equal to MC, it is also correct, and MC is rising after equilibrium. But in this point, MR is equal to MC, okay, first condition is satisfied, necessary condition, but sufficient condition is not satisfying here, because after this point MC is falling. So this one is not the equilibrium, this is the equilibrium. Here MR is equal to MC, correct, MC also rising, also correct. So this is the equilibrium point, and producer will produce at that level where his marginal revenue and marginal cost is equal. So producer's equilibrium condition are satisfied at point E. So this is our MRMC approach. So based on these two, we can determine where is the producer's equilibrium, either TRTC approach, either MRMC approach. Okay, so that's all about this unit.